To have an abortion would have been a sin. So would giving my baby away.
She's only a week old. She doesn't even have a name yet. But the joy of her precious new life is tinged by the long shadow of what her mother endured.
The soldiers caught me before I could run away. They raped me, and then that night I was raped again. They did it again the next morning and that afternoon.
She was held for days and repeatedly raped, kicked and beaten.
The house next door was set on fire, so I ran to another building. I couldn't find any water, so I drank from a pond. I found some Rohingyas and I ran away with them. But I couldn't keep up. I fell behind and some other soldiers caught me. Then I was assaulted again.
She was left in the jungle, but another group of soldiers found her. She was abused again before being tied to a tree.
They left me tied up there. When I saw more soldiers, I would duck down and hide, and I sat there crying. Another group of Rohingyas rescued me and carried me across the border.
Then she discovered she was pregnant. She faced the toughest of dilemmas, and all this at the age of just 17.
They committed a sin. I didn't do anything wrong. They caught me and they committed this crime. I have kept my baby.
Her grandparents are the only family she has left. Her parents are missing, presumed dead.
She hid inside the house and we didn't tell anybody. Nobody saw her. I told her to give the baby away, but she said no. The baby will live according to the will of Allah.
The numbers are really unclear. The aid agencies just don't have precise figures for how many women were raped, how many may have had abortions, and how many children could have been born in this situation and then given up. They were prepared for a wave of babies being handed over, but that hasn't really materialized. The numbers so far are small, but they don't know how much this issue may have been suppressed. They just don't have the figures yet. But they are already looking after some newborns and trying to find them new homes, as well as supporting mothers.
For some of these women, they've had to make the heartbreaking decision to leave behind their babies, and agencies like Save the Children are now providing case management support for those babies in the Rohingya community. Our biggest fear is that these children will grow up with a stigma attached to them. We know that any child born at this time of year is at risk of that stigma, so we're working extremely hard to build in a safety support system for these children so they can grow up with the best possible chance at a healthy life.
So many have been marked by sexual violence. This woman says she was set on fire after being assaulted. All these women have stories of rape and beatings, husbands and children killed. This woman became pregnant but miscarried. She told me she wanted the baby because her 2 sons had been murdered. There are lots of similar accounts of the enduring emotional effect. I wish now that I'd been killed, she says. My heart breaks thinking about my husband, my children, and my parents who are dead. I cry every night into my pillow. My heart aches when I remember what happened, explains this woman. I want justice. I'll only go back there if there is justice. When I remember the brutality, I can't breathe, says this woman. The thought of going back there makes me panic. When I try to sleep at night, I remember everything that happened. I can't eat and I feel sick. Of course, it's difficult for us, or for anybody else to check these claims. The Burmese military denies any atrocities. The other big unknown is the question of justice. Whether anyone will actually face investigation, whether anyone will be held to account for these crimes. There is an attempt to collect testimony to build a case for the International Criminal Court, but Myanmar isn't even signed up to that, isn't covered by it. So at the moment, the chances look slim. The trauma touches so many lives and its impact is long-lasting.
How could they do such a thing to me? If this didn't happen, I would have got married and lived a normal life. But when I see my baby, I just feel love for her.